Right now. We're live. Hi, everybody. It's Wellness Week. This is Monday, and we are talking about wine today. Sippy, sippy, sippy alcohol out there. Ali, thanks for coming on today again. I appreciate that. How are you?
I appreciate it.
No, come on, man. You did so well the first time. Our producers, our directors, and our investors, like, you got to get that guy Ali back on. Basically, it's me. I'm the only person here. Okay, so
you wear many hats.
Right. But I like to, act like I'm. Oh yeah, we'll talk to the board of directors. Meanwhile, it's just me. Okay,
board of one.
That's right. You got to think, act bigger than you are. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week, and happy Monday to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, share with friends and family. Look, I even made this high-tech sign. It says like and subscribe. See that? I'm very high-tech. Okay. So, and by the way, we're just having conversations. We're not giving any legal or medical advice. It's just opinions, a conversation between two friends. Okay. All the legal stuff out of the way. So, Ali, we hear a lot. I'm going to start backwards with the wine because that's what the header is for the advertisement.
Try the wine.
No, and by the way, in full disclosure, I drink wine once in a while. I like to have a beer once in a while. When I say once in a while, for me, once in a while means literally once or twice a year, because we all know people who say, oh yeah, I drink once in a while. It's like once every hour. It all depends on what does once in a while mean. But I'm not a big drinker, basically. Do you drink wine or beer, Ali?
I don't drink wine, and I don't. Well, I love beer, but I have a sensitivity, I feel, to gluten.
Oh,
right? So
okay.
I feel like anything that has the wheat inside of it sometimes tends to kind of build up in my body. Like, I can have bread, but if I have bread every day for a week, I'm going to feel it on Friday, right? Same thing with beer. Like, having a beer with dinner is really good. I love IPAs. They taste great, but at the same time, if I have too many, it kind of wears on my belly a little bit more than anything else.
Well, lucky you, because that's a good problem to have, because, alcohol is not exactly, So this is why I wanted to talk about this particular topic. So we're talking about alcohol, wine today. We're talking about when to see a therapist. That's our second topic.
Nice.
And we're talking about donating blood, how important it is if you can. So we're going to go backwards, though. So wine. Okay. So my thing is, and I'm going to get a lot of hate phone calls and text here, but my thing is, wine is bad. Wine is overhyped. Wine is not good for you. Do not drink wine. Now, I know, and Mark, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not paying you all. You can slap me around and disagree with me.
No, wine is great.
You're the first person. But my thing is, wine, and I'm going to get a lot of people say, oh my God, Anthony, how could you say that? Hey, glass a day. The doctor said a glass a day. So my retort to someone saying that wine, in moderation, wine is good for the heart. No, I'm going to say wine's not good for the heart. What people, I think, get conflated is red wine has resveratrol. That's the grape, the skin of the red grape or the purple grape. That component in the grape is good for you. Eating a grape is good for you. But once it becomes wine, you got a big problem, and that is alcohol. And not one drop of alcohol is good for the human body. Now, you think it's just me. I did a little searching on the internet here. I'm just going to rattle it off real quick. So, if anybody cares, and I'm not going to read it verbatim, but Harvard, you can go on Harvard's website, Harvard EDU. They talk about that not a drop of alcohol is good for you. Resveratrol, yes, the grape is good for you, but the alcohol component is bad. So what does that mean? Don't drink wine. That's what it means. Another thing, you know this, Ali, but people will like to cite, and I'm Italian. Hey, in Italy, they drink every day. Every day drinking wine. Wine's good for you. No. What happens is, in Italy, trust me on this, because I've been there, after they eat dopo mangiare pranzo, after they eat dinner, yeah, they drink wine, but then no one wants to mention this. They get up and they walk every single day, 7 days a week, walking. And they have a Mediterranean lifestyle. They're not eating fried foods and garbage, whatever. So correlation is not causation. They also smoke a lot more in Italy than they do in America. But Italians have healthier, longer lives than Americans. So should we all start smoking cigarettes? No. It's that they have a healthy lifestyle in general, and the wine and the cigarettes do not contribute to their health. It's everything else contributing to their health. They're walking, their family connections, that they're eating, fish, and everything is typically grilled or baked, not fried. So it's not wine that's healthy. And so you can't cite the Italians or the French or the Spaniards because, again, the alcohol component. Okay, I got off my high horse, but you know what? It ticks me off because I don't know about you, but I've been to funerals for friends who passed away just from beer, literally. And I have friends of mine that are struggling with alcohol because they drink wine, and they're struggling. They're having a hard time going to work, having a hard time living life. So I take it very serious, not a joke. And, like, again, I'll have a glass of wine or a beer too. But I just think in this country, moderation, it's not working for us, man. And I'm not saying make wine or beer illegal. I'm not saying that. It should be legal. But anyways, what say you, Ali? I talked enough. I want to smack myself. Go ahead, Juan.
Well,
Ali.
I mean, you said a lot of stuff there that I think is super on point, right? So alcohol, from what I understand, alcohol in its own right, when you break it down to the molecule, is ethanol. Ethanol is a neurotoxin. So it has neurotoxic effects on the body. Part of those neurotoxic effects of the body is this feeling of disconnection, elation. You get a little bit of like what people call like maybe the beer muscles. Your inhibitions are down, right? And people like that. It's a stress reliever, right? But alcohol in itself, ethanol in the body, is a neurotoxin. It does nothing good for the body. If anything, it degenerates your nervous system in ways where, over time, you can pick up actually disorders from drinking alcohol. I mean, anybody that's trying to quit alcohol, they get the shakes, right? And the shakes come from the nervous system, right? So that's one component of alcohol that's terrible, right? Just right off the bat. The second component of alcohol that I think is also bad is the fact that when you break down alcohol, it's a sugar, right? In the end, ethanol, alcohol, right? It ends with the hol, which is sorbitol and all those other, types of sugars out there. So it breaks down into something where at the end becomes something that your liver has to process, right? And there is a whole cascade of events. As soon as alcohol touches your body, it signals, I'm here. Your body says, since we have alcohol in the system, we're going to switch our energy system. We're going to go from our fat burning system to our glucose sugar burning system. Insulin gets introduced. Insulin is inflammatory, right? Insulin has its role in the body to reduce blood sugar, but the downstream effects is also inflammation. So now you've got your nervous system getting taxed. You've got inflammation in your body from the downstream effects of insulin. And then the third component is the weight gain. And that's a novel system in the body. As soon as the fat burning system turns off, the fat storage system turns on. It's like literally, right? So alcohol introduced into the system will also create a little bit of this whole fat storing system. So like you're eating foods while you're enjoying your meal, and you're also taxing your liver a little bit. So like all that spells bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to lean on the fact that, of course, if you're healthy, like you had said, right? Like you're going out, you're moving your body, you're eating right, you have the right diet, right? You're not eating sugars and cakes and fried food, right?
Not overweight or whatever.
You enjoy a nice, simple dinner with a glass of wine, one glass of wine, you're fine. I think your body can handle and tolerate.
Yeah, right.
So the social aspect of it, though, I think leans more into the health benefits, right? So like, yes, you get your resveratrol and all these other benefits out of drinking but you could also eat a handful of grapes. You could have some cherries. You could have some pomegranates.
Whatever, right.
That will give you the same benefit of resveratrol, and you don't need the alcohol with it. But I would argue that if you're having a social event and you're all sitting around having a glass of wine, that social benefit, that closeness you feel with people and stuff like that could help, right? But
right, the community effect.
Exactly. So I think there is where you might see a shift in some wellness with alcohol, right?
But it's not the alcohol. It's, again, the means to the end, the correlation.
Exactly. But anybody that comes out, and I hate to say it this way, but if anybody comes out and says, oh, one glass of wine is healthy, I would say, no, one glass of wine is not healthy.
And one cigarette a day is healthy too, right? The Italians smoke cigarettes. I mean, but they outlive us and they have a healthier life than us, but I don't know.
Exactly. And there was a study that came out that showed that a bunch of people that were centenarians, right? If they look back into their study, they actually saw that they were smokers at a time, because if you took a sample of centenarians in 2020, you would actually go back to 1920, which you would hit upon a time period when everybody and their mother smoked cigarettes, right?
So we all should smoke too.
No, well, yeah, exactly. So like they touch cigarettes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was healthy for them either. They might have been like centenarians plus 20 if they didn't smoke the cigarettes, but they made it to 100, right?
Whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lifestyle change, I think, in anybody that has to deal with anything that's healthy. Is like I could probably go out and eat right and work out and do all those good things, and then at the end of the day, enjoy a glass of wine on Saturday with my loved ones, and that'll be perfectly fine.
Right.
But for me, I don't. I know for a fact that one drink I'm okay with. Right, on a Saturday night, I'm fine. Two drinks, I think I'm okay with too. But it's like that third drink.
Well, by the way, you just touched on something on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday.
I know you and I probably both know people. They drink every single day, which is going to lead us to our next topic shortly about when to see a therapist. I mean, like you can't go a day without having that glass of wine or two, because it's never a glass. It's always, and it's like, just, real quick too. I have someone that I know. I want to like pull the hair out of his head. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I have high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Everything is just, I don't know. And I'm like, because you drink every day. Like don't you see? Like you drink alcohol every day, dude. And the weekends you're pounding. You're at these bars and like he's on these medications. He can't put two and two together. And this guy's a smart guy. I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, come on, man. It's the liquor. It's the wine.
And somebody would say, I only drink on the weekends, right? Or
right, but they make up for 90 gallons.
But if you're going out and you say, all right, I'm going to only drink on the weekends, and you go out to the bar and you have 7 drinks, right? And then that also equals, I'll have a couple of slices of pizza or like a big, I don't know, like a, something, because whenever I drink, I'm not going to have like, strawberries and fruit after it, right? I'm not going to have a nice salad after my beer. I'm going to enjoy like a cheeseburger with French fries.
Whatever, right?
So like all that equals, you're probably going to be dealing with inflammation and issues from Friday night, Saturday night into Sunday. And then Monday, cortisol kicks in. So you're going back to work, right? And now you're stressed out through work. And then, so it creates a cycle, I think.
100%. And by the way, Ollie, you and I are not telling people not to enjoy life. I would make the argument when you get off the wine and the beer, you get happier, you get healthier, your muscles get stronger. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, your skin complexion gets better. Who doesn't want nice skin? It's hard to get off of because you get addicted to it. But you also get addicted to the social aspect of it too, the wine and the beer and all that stuff. But real quick, harvard.edu. Alcohol, right here, I'm reading it. Alcohol use was the 7th leading cause of death and disability worldwide. About 2% of female deaths and 7% of male deaths were contributed to wine and beer. Yeah. And that's a slow death too. It doesn't mean that you hit a tree and you killed yourself. That's like, hey, I've got liver damage now. My kidneys aren't really working. And, things are, bone damage. It's all for, again, and I'm not saying make it illegal, but it's just like, man, it's not the poster boy, golden boy, wine. Nah, it's not like that, man. So, but yeah, okay. So, is there anything else you want to add? Because I want to segue into, which this patches into nicely to, when should we go see a therapist? Like, hey, you drinking? I mean, do you want anything about the wine and beer before we move on?
No, I think the only thing I could add to that is, in the end, we're humans, right? So we have flaws sometimes. I think sometimes, if you catch yourself having extra drinks and stuff and it's happening, it's not a place where you have to be down on yourself over it, right? I think recognizing the fact that maybe it's happening is just step one of maybe an intervention, right? Like, yeah, it's tough. I don't think we need to beat ourselves up for it. And I think in the end, what I would do is I would make sure that everything else is dialed in, and then that drink that you have on the weekend with your loved ones becomes very sweet, right? It becomes like a warm thing that happens. And you could give that up on Saturday. You have 1 drink, 2 drinks, and then you wake up on Sunday and you go out and you do your workout, right? So like you're not preventing that drinking episode to prevent you from going out and working out the next day. You stay on your regimen. Right. So I think people should be kind to themselves and allow some freedom to do these things, but at the same time, also look at what their lifestyle changes are. You had somebody on your podcast the other day talking about frameworks, like what?
Adam, yeah,
right. So what is that lifestyle that you wrap around yourself that prevents you from having that extra drink on Friday or Saturday night? right? For me, it's going to be, I got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and go do a run. And that's not, there's no compromise behind
Have
it.
a plan. You have a plan.
I have a plan.
Well, right to that, I think again, we like to hide behind beer and wine is celebrated. It's advertised on television and the media, and this is fun. This is life, and it's not. It's death. You just heard me read the study off from Harvard. I mean, it's the 7th leading cause of death. I mean, it's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not cute. It's not fun. But we're sold these counter, advertisements that make us think it's good and it's healthy and it's okay.
Yeah,
and again, I have wine and beer too once in a while, but
alcohol is a neurotoxin. It's bad for you. Bottom line.
Right. And by the way, it's killed more people than heroin. Wine and beer. Okay. So, I mean, don't believe me. Go on to Harvard EDU, knock yourself out. People, don't trust me. Read your own studies. But again, and I'm not saying do heroin, but I'm just saying it's a serious thing. You have to have a healthy respect for wine and beer. It's not water, folks. So anyways, okay. Yeah. So, moving on. So someone's drinking, right? And they're having like, dude, oh my God, I'm pounding every night. Like, or I'm having a beer every night and without fail, or 2 beers every night without fail. Like, maybe I should see a therapist. Now, again, we're not experts, but I've been to therapy. You've been to therapy, not for alcohol, but we've been through our own things. For me, it was just anxiety and OCD, and that's not a joke. But when do you think people should think about seeing a therapist, no matter what the problem is? Like, what's the threshold in your mind? What would you give someone advice if they're like, hey, Ollie, I don't know, should I see a therapist? Like, what would your advice be to somebody if they should or shouldn't?
I think therapy has levels, right? So I think everybody should see a therapist, whether it's, a psychiatrist, psychologist, if there's medical intervention, like medicine that you need, right? But I think everybody needs to put themselves in some sort of therapeutic environment, right? And talk out everything and anything they see on a regular basis that maybe has been building up inside of them, right? I think for me, if you've gotten to a point where you've recognized that you need to go see somebody for alcohol or drug abuse or anything like that, right? Any type of like compulsive behavior, right? Or addictive behavior. As soon as you've identified that, you've won the game, because that's it right there. So I think the bigger question is, do you have your monitors up, right? Are you watching yourself and analyzing the things you do that are technically not the right things for your body or the feelings that you feel, right? So I think from my standpoint is like, if I'm drinking and I'm feeling great about my life and everything is good, I'm probably more than likely never going to stop drinking, right? Because I don't have a monitor on to sense that. And that might be because I'm not letting myself actually feel what's going on, because I'm maybe using the alcohol or any other substance, working out as an addiction, right? I work
Anything
out.
can be overdone, 100%.
Exactly.
But better that addiction than alcohol addiction. But if you had to pick one, both, no one wants to be addicted to anything. But yeah, I mean, if you had to be addicted, I mean, you can't get arrested for working out too much, but you can get arrested for drinking too much.
Yeah, but I would say the answer to your question is, when would I seek out a therapist for this?
In your opinion?
I would say, I don't know. I would have to.
No, I'm saying for anything, never mind wine. But.
Yeah, for anything. I would say, I would have to ask myself, what am I feeling at that moment, right? And dig deep within myself to see exactly what emotions I'm having at that moment and what's triggering me to feel bad. And then it's not even alcohol or working out. It's just what is causing me to do what I'm doing. And that's, for me, my addiction is working out. So as soon as I feel bad about something, I'm like, I got like Sunday, I need to go for a run, right? I'm going to go for a run and I'm going to de-stress and I'm going to come back. And that may seem a little high and mighty, right? Oh, freaking Ali. Oh yeah, he goes and works out and he's a fit guy, right? But what am I covering up there, dude? Like,
if it's excessive, yeah, they're right. You have to drill down. Why are you exercising so much?
Yeah. So I think what really should happen is, everybody, don't wait until you're an alcoholic to go see a therapist. I think you should just stop every day in the morning, maybe first thing before you get up, or maybe when the blood sugar is in your body and you're actually awake. Take 5 minutes and just ask yourself, am I okay?
People don't want to do that because facing the mirror I know, because before I went to therapy for OCD, I denied it to everybody. I denied it to myself. And I just want to say, sometimes it takes an outside person, a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife, or a friend. Hey, man, you need help.
And I
That's what
think
got me
that's it.
going. But that's what got me going. Somebody in my life called me out in a loving way. They weren't like, you're, they just said, Anthony, you need help. And I felt like the biggest piece of shit. I felt like broken. I felt like I felt naked. Like, now that's not for everybody. But
see, wait, let's pause right there.
Yeah,
right? That's the problem. Because as soon as somebody tells you need help, you've put yourself in the defeated role.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I'm just.
Oh, I denied it. Right. And initially, I was like, no, I'm reading a book about my OCD.
Listen, as soon as, especially if it's a loved one that tells you need help,
you're going to deny
that right off the bat.
It's
right?
like they see you naked. They can look right through you. They know, you're suffering. And as a man, especially, we're tough. We're too tough. I can't suffer. I'm a tough guy.
Yeah. I did I was listening to Tim Ferriss podcast over the weekend, and I just started listening to it. And there's this dude that was talking, and
is that the big guy, the big comedian?
No, Tim Ferriss is the 4-hour work week guy. He's the guy.
I'm sorry. Okay, I know who it is.
He's got a great podcast. I recommend everybody to listen to Tim Ferriss' podcast because he does a great interview and everything like that. But he had this guy on, and I'll send you a link. Maybe you can post it.
You can put it in the comment sections below.
Okay,
we're done.
Yeah, I have to find it and I'll send it to you. But the point behind it was really cool. This guy was a therapist dude, and he's got his own practice and all this other stuff. And he's like, Tim had a question. He's like, I woke up this morning and it was the craziest morning of my life. Everything got all screwed up. And I started feeling this anger. And I couldn't get out of my own head, right? It could have just been a crappy morning. And he couldn't get out of his own head. And the guy's like, give me a 5-minute. He asked this guy, give me a 5-minute exercise for me to be able to get out of this. And so the disclaimer was nobody else should do this because if you're driving and all this other stuff, you may pass out. But I wasn't. I was at home. So I followed through with it. And the exercise was about basically while you're feeling this pain or whatever anxiety that's going into your body, he went through a couple of relaxation steps that started with your eyes and dropping your mouth.
Like meditation.
It was like a meditation, but you were awake. You were conscious of what you were feeling, and you were also relaxing your body at the same time. But the point behind it was he said the goal of this exercise is to allow for you to have that feeling. So getting back to our point, your friend just turned around and told you that you need to go see therapists and you're feeling like crap about yourself, right? Like, oh, I'm less of a human, right? But as soon as you do that, you shut down all the monitors that are like, dude, there's something going on, the alarms. You're shutting down the alarm. You're snoozing the alarm here, right? If you allow yourself to have this feeling and observe yourself, like I am anxious right now. So you sit and you actually watch yourself in a room being anxious and allow that feeling, right? That allowing yourself and almost enjoying, but monitoring yourself to have that feeling allows you to be able to break it down a little bit.
That's part of OCD therapy. It's called exposure response prevention, ERP. The first thing what you're citing is exposure. You don't run from the feeling. You absorb it. You are one with it. You make it uncomfortable, but you don't run from it. You don't try to drink or play a video game or talk to somebody or put your phone down. But I wanted to say real quick, you're 100% right. So for me, in my opinion, when someone should see therapy, it would be is the joy out of your life. Are you a shell of yourself, but you're functioning, you're going to work, you're making $1 million a day, you're going to parties, you got a yacht, whatever, you're doing great. But how do you feel? Kind of what you're saying. So for me, I was achieving great things. My business was booming. I had a great love life, this and that, everyone. But inside I was rotting. I was going through the motions. You would see me in the street. You probably did at the time. This was years ago, but I would be like, hey, what's up? You wouldn't even know. But inside, I was playing a role. I wasn't there. I was consumed with this stress and anxiety of OCD, particularly like hand washing, germophobia. Like, oh my God, did I wash it? And we all joke, haha, OCD, haha, wash your hands. But it was killing me. It was sucking the life out of me. So my thing to somebody is you should see a therapist when, number one, the joy of your life is gone. And it's a pattern, not one day, not 2 days, but it keeps coming day after day, week after week. Then you got a problem. You start to, so you want to look for the pattern. You're not happy anymore. You feel like a shell of yourself. You're just going through the motions, and most people won't even see this, but you have to tell it to yourself. Is it affecting your life? Is it sucking the life out of you? Whatever the addiction or problem is, or stressor is, or anxiety is, that's when you see help. But sometimes in life, we need a little kick in the pants. And so this loved one saw that, that I was struggling and I wasn't, like just, yeah, like, hey, you've been in the bathroom for 10 hours washing your hands. Like, this is a pattern I see. I'm being a little facetious here, but,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And things like the subtleties, like after I got done high-fiving, I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? And then you see me kind of like zone out a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm just, so sometimes and I'm saying that because me, you, people watching, if you have an inclination that a loved one is maybe struggling with stress or anxiety or anything, pull them aside, text them, hey, I love you. And just, if there's something going on, we maybe can go to therapy together. If, I don't need therapy, they're going to shut you down. Doesn't matter. Say it anyways to them. Plant that seed. It's okay. And this is why I'm speaking about it too. It's okay. Like I'm a human, you're a human. And my thing is, if in your life, if you never go to therapy, that's a loss. I think that's bad. That's
Absolutely.
not good. That's a weak person. Someone that, in my opinion,
I think what we should really do, and I think this is, the point I think you're getting to, and I'm sorry to interrupt, is therapy should be almost glorified as much as it is to go to the gym, right? You see all these people at the gym posting selfies, right, of them, doing 3,000 pounds of deadlifts, or me, right? I went and did 6 miles today, boom, 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 right? But nobody ever says awesome 1 hour session with my
right. I strengthened my mind. Listen,
Yeah.
You and I both know people, big muscles, tattoos, but they're rotting inside. And I was essentially that guy without the big muscles and tattoos. Big business, I'm doing great. I got all these employees. I'm driving this car. I got all these property. I thought, if you saw me, and I'm doing okay now too, but I'm just saying, like, but I was essentially the guy with the muscles and the tattoos in the sense of my success and stuff. But really, I felt like shit. I was rotting, and it was not, and I needed help. But to your point, you're looked down upon if you get help. And if you're a doctor, a nurse, a cop, a soldier, a teacher, those 5 professions, I don't care who you are. You must seek help. It must be mandatory. It should be opt out, not opt in. But they don't do that. You can, you can opt in. No, it should be from the chief on down, twice a year. You go to therapy. This way, nobody looks like they're crazy. But you see, it's not like that. But to your point, we should celebrate it, right? Hey, good mind workout today. Whatever it is.
I did my brain game, or whatever you want to call it. Right.
Right. But we don't do that. Right. Because we glorify the outward, but we don't glorify, hey, you got a strong mind, or you're getting help for your mind. We don't look down on someone if they have a sore throat or a sprained wrist. But we look down on people because they had a sprained mind for a week. Or for me, in my case, it was, for a number of years. And people aren't crazy. We all have our stressors, and we all need to go at some point in our life, if not now, in the future, or we're going now. That's a great thing. By the way, not to go this rabbit hole, Ollie, and if I'm cutting you off, cut me off, because I've been accused of being a cutter offer. Anyways, not by you, but other people have pulled me aside. So just walk all over me. I don't care. So no, I'm doing, I'm not this week. I think next week I'm going to do a review. I'm going to start online therapy, and I'm comparing the 2 big companies out there. I think it's called Better Health and Talkspace. Yeah. So I'm going to do a review of both. I signed up for both, and I'm like, if I'm always preaching people should do this, I should be doing it, and I wasn't. Now I'm going to. So I'm going to be seeing my first therapy session tomorrow, and I will report back to all the viewers what I'm going to compare the 2 and what I like or suggest, my opinion. But anyways, my point is, we all need it, and I'm not even necessarily struggling right now, but I'm just, as good measure, as good, what do you call, best practices for one's life.
I don't think I think it's maintenance, right? So and how awesome is it that we have these platforms, right? So even this morning, I'm not going to even talk about what I saw this morning, but I can tell you this morning there was an accident here in Ridgewood, and I'm not going to even talk about it because I'm still shook up by it. But like, I didn't want to see that this morning.
Right.
I didn't choose to see what I saw this morning, and it was graphic, and it's going to be in my brain for the next and it involved a little dog. So let's just leave it at that. In my brain, I am going to play this over and over again 1,000 times.
Maybe you should talk to somebody. I don't know.
And I don't know what that's going to trigger down the line when I'm walking.
Right. Maybe you should not talk to somebody, but right. And by the way, I'm not saying everybody. Most of the time we don't need therapy, folks, but sometimes we do. So if you don't think you need therapy, that's fine. You're doing fine. I'm not saying, if you don't get therapy today, you're a loser. No, but I'm saying at some point in our lives, I think we do. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you see this accident. maybe you need therapy for this, maybe you don't.
What I'm trying to say is it's the equivalent of like you were walking down the street and you slipped and fell and you bumped your hip, right? And then you went to bed and you woke up the next day and you're just sore, right? But right after you fell, you were fine. You just walked away and you went about your day, right? And a traumatic event is literally that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I saw something that I deemed traumatic. Woof, that was tough to see, right? And I went about my day. I started work and, I went about my day. I put it in the back of my brain. Believe me, it's being processed right now. And I don't know how it's being processed, but I'm pretty certain that it is being processed, right?
Right.
And it may manifest itself in some benign way somewhere down the line where I might be walking my dog across the street and all of a sudden something might happen and some guy is going 45 and a 35 and I might just go like, boo,
whatever. Right.
Being old man Fatale, right? And so, but what was that reaction?
Right.
Why did I scream at that guy? Did I need to scream at that guy? And
maybe you're bringing that stress home and you're crapping on your loved ones at home.
Exactly. Now I've yelled at that guy, and then I've taken that stress from yelling at that guy home, and like I'm eating dinner, and I'm mad at the whole world because of this, right?
Right.
That is why therapy, maintenance, and all this stuff is good, because maybe if I saw, like I was with a Talkspace, Headspace, whatever that platform is, right? And I logged in, I have nothing to talk about other than this little traumatic thing that happened to me. And that therapist would be able to be like, dude, you realize that this could be something that could manifest somewhere down the line and et cetera. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Because it's like me busting my hip, falling on the ground.
Correct. Or it could be maybe your boss is stressing you out. It doesn't have to be something acute that was so crazy and bad and deadly, or could be that too. But it could be the daily stresses of life. By the way, when I say therapy, I mean talk to maybe a priest, a rabbi, an imam, a coach, even a friend. There's pros and cons to each one. I mean, therapists are nice because they're detached from our lives. They can take an honest look without being partial. But sometimes partial is good too. My point is, not to us men especially, and women too, but us men more than likely, we internalize it, we suck it up, oh, shut up, and that's not good, man. By the way, I want to respect your time. We're at 32 minutes. If we have to go, we'll end it, but I wanted to talk about...
No, keep going. You're good.
Okay. I just want to touch on blood donation. So was there anything else you wanted to add, though, to therapy before we go into blood donations?
No, I just other than treat it like you're going to the gym. Like
right, cool. And by the way, awesome. It's a good segue because when you donate blood, guess what, people? You have an altruistic high, natural high. I can tell you because I donated blood 2 days ago. I donate blood. I donated blood 26 times in my life so far. How you doing? Hey, so now I want to encourage people. I know you've donated too in your life, so I'm glad you have. Thank you for donating. But now, by the way, not everybody can donate blood. I get that, but for people who can, you should. By the way, Ollie, I don't know about you. Okay, so I'm the biggest chicken. Every time I donate blood, I'm like shaking. I'm like biggest wimp. But I force myself to go because the first and foremost, they say for every donation, you save up to 4 lives. That's not hyperbole. It's not theory. It's not, you could. No. I saved 4 humans this week.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, you don't believe me, folks. So it's not me talking. Go look it up wherever you want to look it up. When you donate a pint of blood, you save 4 people because they break that down. As you know, Al, you've donated before. They break down the plasma and the red blood cells and and it goes into different what they call products to help different people. It could be car accidents, could be disease, whatever. So I walked out of there thinking I was a trillionaire. I was like, what's up? What'd you do today? I saved 4 people. What? So if I'm going to brag about anything, I'm not going to be posing in front of my leased automobile. I'll brag that I saved some lives. Let's get into that. Let's do that. I'm all about that. Brag about the good stuff. And by the way, we also help save ourselves when we donate blood. It lowers cancer risk. It lowers heart disease risk. It lowers the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. So it's a win-win. Everybody's happy. Now, what's been your experience, Ollie? So when you donated, people who haven't donated before, what could they expect? So when you donated, I mean, what did you see? How did you feel? I mean, what was the process like when you did?
I mean, I got a cookie and a nice little sticker at the end, which I thought was really cool.
Yes, bro. Go ahead.
So they came to my job and they were outside, and me being so I've read a lot about this, the health benefits of donating blood, right? Beyond anything else, I was like, wow, there's like actually a benefit to this as well too. Apparently, if you eat a diet that's high in red meats and you have maybe a high iron thing,
men do more than women, but
yeah, exactly. So like high iron is not good for the body. So donating blood is one of the best ways to kind of actually reduce iron within your body.
By the way, I've been kicked out of blood donations before because my iron exceeded the threshold, and they said you have to come back next week. To your point, because men don't have menstrual cycles, so there's anyways.
Men, especially for men's health, it's actually, there are people that say donating blood once a year is beneficial for health.
Even once, yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off. So you went to your job. They come to your job.
Yeah, so my job, I drew blood and I gave it, and it was a very completely benign process. Like, I don't even think I felt pain, and the nurses were very nice and stuff like that. And yeah, so when I left, the one thing I could say is, like, I felt good about myself for doing that, but I also felt good about myself for doing that because my body felt good. Like, I was like, whoa, like, there's a red turn. So something about when you dump blood, right? Your body has to produce more blood, right? In producing that, it produces fresh red blood cells. And now you've got a plethora of fresh red blood cells.
A restart in your body.
And red blood cells are super beneficial for ATP and generating energy,
Oxygen,
right? So, like, that whole process of refreshing your blood is supposed to be a life hack. So
100%.
So I think that there was a twofer for that. I was getting my body high, and I was also getting an emotional high.
Emotional high, your body high, you're helping others.
But I could say I've also been in situations where I've had loved ones, because of where they were medically, they needed a blood transfusion, and it was do or die, right? So, like, especially if you're a type O negative, right? Like one of the rare blood types, like, you should probably go out there and help some people out, because you could be a rare blood type person and get into a car accident and lose a lot of blood, and the hospital may not have your blood type.
Ollie, that's another reason why I donate, especially now. They need blood donors today. It's bad because everyone's, I guess, still kind of worried about leaving their home because of COVID and stuff. And, like, they were begging me to come, like, and sending me a letter, all this stuff. I was like, all right, I'm coming. I'll be there. I'll be there. Have the cookies ready. I'll be there. But so it's very much needed, and it's life and death for sure. You just mentioned that, but
save your life while you save somebody else's life.
Yeah. Listen, here's what happens, folks. Okay. Because I just did it 2 days ago. You go in there, whether it's at work or wherever, you got to answer some questions, like, whatever. They're going to ask some general health questions, and they're going to take your temperature, and then they're going to prick your little finger and test the blood for iron, how high the iron is, or if it's too low, you can't donate, whatever. And then you go into the waiting room. They treat you like a king. Oh, please sit down here. Have some more, whatever. You want to drink? Yeah, don't worry about it. So, and then you sit down. They put the tourniquet around your arm. This is the part where I'm a sissy. I'm like, okay, and so they put the needle in the arm. It pinches. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you're a tough guy, be tough. Okay, go get the tough girl. Go be tough. Give blood if you can. But I'm a sissy, so I couldn't look. She's like, oh, are you afraid? I'm like, I'm not afraid. I'm afraid. Anyway, I am afraid. So, they prick the thing in there, and then, you chill out. They give you a little, like, squishy ball to kind of pump the blood.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. You're watching whatever cartoons, and then about, I don't know, 10 minutes later, they pull the thing out. You get a nice little band around your arm, which you wear it proudly. People are like, oh, did you go to the doctor? No, I gave blood today. Saved 4 lives. What did you do, loser? So, I'm walking around with the band on. And you feel good. The only thing is, like I said, I'm a little bit of a wimp. So I try to push through that because I'm like, this is a good thing for people. It's a good thing for me. Everyone's going to win. We're going to feel happy. But that's it, folks. I mean, it's pretty simple. In and out, half hour for whole blood. You could do platelets and other things, which take maybe about an hour. But I just give whole blood. And I want to encourage everyone to please donate blood if you can. If you're eligible to do so, do it. I'm the biggest wimp, sissy, chicken boy you ever met. And I go in there shaking and quivering. But it's a good thing. And anything else you wanted to add, Ollie, about the blood donation? Things like that?
No, not really. I think it's just, like I said, save yourself and save another life by just going out there and doing that. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for coming on today. I think we covered all the topics. I want to respect your time. I know you're a busy guy. We're going to have you back on because the Nelson ratings are like, dude, we love that guy, Ollie. You got to have him back on. I'm like, okay, the Nielsen ratings. Sorry. So we got to have you back on. But yeah, man. No, thanks, dude. And everybody, don't forget, look, I run a high-tech show here. Like and subscribe. You hit this, subscribe, and then you go here for the notifications, because then it tells you when the new shows are on, and then maybe you could share it with a friend and stuff like that. But so yeah, we have a bunch of shows coming on this week. We're going to be talking about colonoscopies.
Oh
Coming.
boy, yeah, I got to get one.
How old are you?
45.
Ooh, well,
yeah.
45, they say. It depends on who you talk to, but yes, the doctors are saying that 45 is the new 50. So I got mine. I met him halfway. I got mine at 47, which was last year. And anyways, I'm gonna what do you call it? Disband or prove that it's a lot of hype. Honestly, like, oh, it's gonna stink. It was honestly very easy. I don't know why people make a big deal of it. I mean, I know why they make a big deal of it, but anyway. So watch that show. I think it's gonna be Thursday, and then we have other guests coming on throughout the week. Yada yada yada. So, but Al, you were great as always.
Thank you.
So, yeah, man. No, thanks everybody. So thanks everyone. Have a good rest of the week. Thanks for watching. Ollie, thank you, my man. We're gonna sign off in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.